Have you ever heard the story of the girl who stopped a world war? It sounds like something out of a fantasy novel, but it's a real piece of history, albeit one that's often overlooked. The year is 1914, and the world is a tinderbox, just one spark away from erupting into what we now know as World War I. In the middle of all this political tension, a 13-year-old girl named Fanny Minka is about to play an unbelievable role. Fanny lived in the small town of Tiszészler, Hungary, part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. This was a place simmering with its own conflicts, especially deep-seated anti-Semitism. Back in 1882, the town was rocked by the Tiszészler affair, where local Jewish people were falsely accused of a ritual murder of a Christian girl. The case fell apart, but the hatred it stirred up lingered for decades, poisoning the community. Fanny, being Jewish, grew up in the shadow of this prejudice. She knew what it felt like to be an outsider, to be blamed for things she didn't do. Now, let's fast forward to June 1914. The Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary is assassinated in Sarajevo. This is the spark that ignites the flame. Austria-Hungary, itching for a fight, issues an ultimatum to Serbia. Russia, allied with Serbia, begins to mobilize its army. Germany, allied with Austria-Hungary, warns Russia to stand down. Europe is holding its breath. It's a terrifying game of dominoes, and everyone is just waiting for the first one to fall. Right at this critical moment, a bizarre and shocking report comes out of Tiszészler. A Christian girl has been found murdered, and guess who's getting the blame? The Jewish community, once again. The newspapers, fueled by anti-Semitic sentiment, run wild with the story. They claim it's a repeat of the 1882 affair, another ritual murder. Tensions explode. Riots break out across the region. The Austro-Hungarian government, already on a warpath, sees this as a perfect excuse. They use the riots as a pretext to declare martial law and speed up their military mobilization against Serbia and Russia. The world is literally hours away from war, but here's where our young hero, Fanny Minka, enters the scene. Fanny knew the murdered girl. They weren't close friends, but they knew each other from the village. And Fanny had seen something. She knew the official story was a lie. Terrified but determined, she decided she couldn't stay silent. She knew she had to tell the truth, no matter the risk. She went to the local authorities, a brave and incredibly dangerous thing for a 13-year-old Jewish girl to do in that environment. She told them what she saw. She explained that the girl wasn't a victim of some dark ritual, but had died in a tragic accident. Fanny had witnessed the girl's non-Jewish boyfriend accidentally cause her death during a secret meeting. The boyfriend, in a panic, had hidden the body and started the ritual murder rumor to cover his tracks and deflect blame onto the Jewish community he knew everyone already hated. Fanny's testimony was a bombshell. At first, no one wanted to believe her. It was so much easier to believe the old, hateful story, but Fanny was persistent. She provided details that only a real witness would know. Her story was consistent and held up under intense questioning. Slowly, painstakingly, the truth began to emerge. Her testimony was so compelling that the authorities had to investigate. They found the boyfriend, who eventually confessed to everything. The news spread like wildfire. The ritual murder was a hoax. The foundation for the government's rush to war was built on a lie. This revelation caused a huge political scandal. The public outcry was immense. The government was exposed and humiliated. Their justification for accelerating the war effort evaporated. The international pressure became unbearable. With their domestic and international credibility shattered, Austria-Hungary was forced to back down. They rescinded their mobilization orders. The diplomatic channels that had been slammed shut were creaked back open. The impending war, the one that seemed absolutely inevitable, was averted. The world took a collective sigh of relief. For a brief, shining moment, a 13-year-old girl's courage had stopped the world from plunging into darkness. Of course, we know this peace didn't last. The political tensions were too deep, and just a few weeks later, a different series of events would ultimately trigger World War I, but that doesn't diminish what Fanny Minka did. In a moment when the world was on a knife's edge, when leaders and armies were ready to march, one girl's bravery and commitment to the truth were enough to pull it back from the brink. It's a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, one small voice speaking the truth can make a world of difference. It's a story we should never forget. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as incredible as I did, hit that like button and subscribe for more hidden histories. See you next time.